Hey everyone, and today I'm going to be reviewing the Marvel Legends Amazon exclusive Ronan the Accuser. Obviously we've got the Guardians of the Galaxy logo there, because obviously we've been getting the classic versions of the Guardians. So we've got Star-Lord and Yondu, and obviously Drax and Moondragon have just been announced. And obviously it just came out a month or so ago on Amazon. Obviously it's sold out on the UK, so I obviously pre-ordered this through the American version. It came today. So yeah, so take a close look at the packaging. So we've got Ronan, which is a render, and obviously a comic art bit there. Same comic art panel there, obviously Marvel Legends series. Another Ronan the Accuser render, obviously it says Ronan the Accuser there. Guardians of the Galaxy font, and another render there. So some writing at the bottom. So yeah, let's crack this open and get into the review, shall we? So here he is out of the packaging. I've got to say he looks really awesome. I've had a bit of a play around with him. It was quite stiff when I got him out of the packaging, so I had to dunk him in boiling hot kettle water. But let's take a closer look at him. Yeah, I do love the paint apps on this figure. Second. So I just love how there's different shades of green on the armour as well, especially like his cowl bit. Really loving that, and I just love the pattern obviously of his Kree tunic bit there. So it carries on there. And obviously I do love how his hammer has came out. Obviously it looks like it's a few bits of his hammer are missing, which is cool. Just obviously this is a reusable body from, like, you can tell the arms are pretty much similar to Colossus's. I don't have this figure, but it is. And obviously turn him around. I just love how the different tones of green really go well together as well. His belt you can move around in case it looks a bit wonky. Bit paint chippings from the back of the joints on the knees, but that's no big issue. Cowl looks good there. You get some hindrance on the articulation due to the cowl, but you can move these a little bit, like upwards and downwards, but they will pop off if you carry on like moving them like vigorously, like you're supposed to, which I'll show later on. Yeah, really loving the face sculpt. If you didn't know who Ronan is, he's from the Kree Empire. He's probably, I think he's the top three. He's the third strongest Kree. I think obviously first is Captain Marvel. Then obviously, I think it's Captain Marvel, not Captain Marvel. Sorry, then Marvel. It's a bit confusing. Obviously, some people get confused, but and obviously then Ronan. Yeah, I'm just really loving how he's looking. To be fair. Yeah, let's take a closer look at the hammer, shall we? So here is his hammer. Loving the paint apps on this as well. So you can see how it looks like there's a bit of some chips of the hammer missing. I do love the blow, like it's some energy surging throughout the hammer as well. And I do love how the handle looks. It's like a mace. Okay. And obviously the handle for obviously out the whole axe is pretty much just a silver paint, and obviously the actual hammer piece as well is just silver paint. It's nothing like too detailed. It's just obviously some chippings here and there. That's it really. I'm going to show you these tunic pieces that shoulder blades on Ronan that come off as well. So these actually come off as well. It looks silly, but obviously you got these peg holes and they're quite squishy, like plastic material, so you don't have to worry about it like breaking or anything like that. And they just clip on like this, and you can have a little bit of articulation there. Obviously you can't really pose them too much because this isn't removable either. 2 seconds, let's get this on. Yeah, so we got that back on. I'm just really looking over this, and I'm really impressed with obviously the sculpting on the torso and the tunic there, and especially the face sculpt. It looks really cool. I didn't get the previous Ronin, which is obviously the Toy Biz builder figure, because obviously I didn't really collect Legends back then, but when I wanted to, I was looking at him, but then this got announced, which I'm glad, because I didn't want to pay that prices, and it was a really outdated figure. There was some customs about, but I wasn't going to pay them prices, so I'm really glad this got announced, so I can get this, because Ronan's one of my favourite villains from the comics. Really, I really love his fights, and obviously especially when he teams up, but especially in the Fantastic Four comics, he's really good and menacing. And obviously I feel like the MCU didn't really capture him very well, because he got killed off in the first movie. But yeah, obviously, you know, he has in the comics, him, Kree armor, or obviously there's a massive war against the Skrulls, which is a very good storyline. I feel like Captain Marvel didn't really like show that very well either. I feel like they're very lackluster of showing like certain villains, but it is what it is. So yeah, that's enough of me ranting. Let's go over the articulation, shall we? So for the articulation, you can't really look up that high, because obviously it's very restricted from the cow. You can look down alright, to be fair, but obviously because of his body size, you can just do that, like push his ab crunch down to make him look down lower, and especially to look up as well, you can do that. Obviously he has a good spread on the arms, but then the shoulder pads come off, so I'm going to do the articulation without the shoulder pads. So again, come out this far, he has single jointed elbows and they are not pinless. He has an ab crunch. Obviously you got a swivel at the torso there, and obviously you can get a good spread a bit, but obviously then it's hindered by the tunic there. So some water still there from when I put them in the water. You got a cut at the thigh, so you can have a thigh swivel. You got double jointed knees, and obviously you'd think he'd have a cut at the boot to be some articulation, but there isn't. So yeah, he looks really skinny without the shoulder pads on, so I'm going to put them back on. 2 seconds. So I was able to get the shoulder pad back on. I was just being an idiot, but I'm just really loving the sculpting on the torso chest piece there, and I'm really loving the actual lines throughout the shoulder pads, and I'm really loving the face sculpt on this guy. I wasn't able to pick up the previous Ronan figure from the Build-A-Figure wave or from Toy Biz, and I didn't start collecting Legends then, and when I started collecting a few months back, I was going to get see if there was a knockoff version, but it was quite expensive as well. But then literally a few days later, after I started collecting, this was announced, so I pre-ordered that straight away. So yeah, I'm really loving this figure. We're going to go over size comparisons now. So you can't have a comparison without a Skrull. So if you know about the histories of Skrulls and Krees, or there's a massive storyline where they're constantly at war and stuff like that. So I've got a Super Skrull here and Ronan, which these two look pretty cool next to each other. I'm just hoping they do more Kree army builders like they did with Skrulls and Hydra and so on. So yeah, that's it for the Skrull. We're going to do another comparison. So we've got Ronan and a Kree Sentry right here. I think this is a very good comparison to do. Obviously when they did the Captain Marvel wave, this was a Build-A-Figure from the movie, and I'm glad I picked this up from a good friend called Thomas George, so thank you for doing an amazing deal on that. Hoping to pick up 1 or 2 more. So yeah, we're going to do one more comparison. So here is my final comparison. You can't really do a comparison if you ain't got another alien species, which is the Mad Titan himself, Thanos. This is a very good size comparison. I know in the comics he's 6'7" and he's about 7'5", so the size there is a bit off, but I've got him ab crunched a little bit, but let's just sort that out. Let's go back to back. Ronan looks a little bit taller, but it's fine what it is. It's still a good size comparison, and comparison of the all the previous figures as well. So yeah, I'm going to go over my final thoughts now. So my final thoughts, I definitely recommend picking him up. It's an amazing looking figure and he's going to look awesome on your shelf. Obviously my joints are a bit stiff, but just putting in some warm water and it should help it out. price range, it should be a bit less. Obviously I know builder figures normally go for about £50 and stuff like that. On Amazon UK it's just gone down to £35, but it says stocks, it should ship about 2 to 6 weeks, I think it said. And sorry about me sniffing, I don't know why hay fever is just kicking my ass now. But yeah, defo pick them up if you can. I won't miss out on this figure because the price will go up like most of the builder figures that get singular releases do, especially this guy. He's been on everyone's been asking for a new updated version of him for months and months, because I've obviously joined pages and stuff like that and people were saying been wanting him. So yeah, here he is. So yeah, stay tuned for the very end so you can see some cool poses that I got him in. Don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe. Thanks for watching.